Good evening. So this is Angela from Pulp Friction, and this is
Mike, not from Pulp Friction.
But that's my husband, and he does know Pulp Friction, so he's going to help me out with this
Friend
one
of
today.
Pulp Friction.
So we thought that we would share another activity with you, and where we live locally, we have a music festival each year, and sadly this year we can't have it because of the pandemic. And one of the things we made at last year's festival were these birds, and we just thought they'd be really nice for you to learn how to make them, and perhaps hang them in the polytunnel if you're there over the next few days once you've made these birds, or you can put them on a stick and stick them in the ground or in your plant pot or something like that. And they're very simple to make, but they're really effective, quite pretty actually. So let's start. So first of all, you will need some glue. We've got one of these. And you'll need different types of paper. So we've got some big circles and some little circles. What we use to shape those?
So the big ones are just by cutting around a saucer, and the small ones are cutting around a circular pastry cutter.
Or you draw around them and then cut it out. I think that's how I did those ones. But yeah, so you just need a big circle and a little circle, and they don't need to be any specific size as long as they contrast with each other. So we also probably need a hole punch, or you could make holes later with something else, but it works better with a hole punch. And obviously you're going to need scissors as well. And then the other things, well, we'll get to it when it's time to stick them on, but you need something to make the beak. So you need a triangle to make the beak. And you need something to make the tail. And it's that sort of shape, but again, we'll go over that once we get to it. But the first thing you need...
Do you also need some string or a
Oh, yes.
stick?
Well, yes, if you're going to hang them in the polytunnel, you'll need some string or elastic. This one's on elastic, actually. And you will also need, if you want to stick them on a stick, a stick.
A stick.
And this one, oh, well, I'll talk you through that once we get to that point. So, first of all, we need a big circle each, all right? So what are you going for?
This one.
And that's some wrapping paper. So you can just use up scraps, whatever you find around.
But relatively thick. It doesn't want to be too flimsy.
Yeah, precisely. And this is just a plain piece of green paper. So the first thing you do is you find a small piece to fit on the big piece. So what are you going with? Right, and I'm going to have a spotty bit. So you just need to put a bit of glue on your small piece, like that. And I'm going to stick it in the middle of the big piece. You done that?
In our house, we call a small piece a Nigel Ponsonby, named after one of the Diddy men.
Yes. Thank you for that. I usually do these videos with my son Freddie, as you might remember. But
he doesn't know those kind of interesting facts.
No, he doesn't. So once you've stuck your small piece on, you fold the circle in half.
Make
so you
sure
get
it's
a
well
crease.
glued.
Yeah, we're going to do it very quickly, but you need to make sure you're glued on properly. We're doing it just for quickness sake. So there, I folded it in half, and if you put it down, it rocks. I'm just going to show them. You put it down on the table, it rocks. That's it. So it's nice. It's an even fold. So you don't have to hang these up. You can actually have them on a shelf, and they look really lovely when they rock backwards and forwards. So that's the first thing. Now the next part of it is the beak. You need a beak. So do you want an orange or a green beak?
Green, please.
Green beak for you. And I will have an orange to contrast. So the beaks, it's just a triangle. What kind of triangle is that?
Is that an isosceles?
Could be.
Because the two of the angles are the same.
Yeah, I think
almost.
that's... Yeah, it's not equilateral, is it? We don't care, do we? It's a triangle. So you need a triangle, and you need to fold that in half as well, like you did it earlier with your bird, with your circle. So we folded that in half, and then you're going to put a little bit of glue on that. And what you do is you turn your circle over and you glue the beak inside like that. So I've just stuck it inside the circle, and I've made sure that the fold that I made on the beak matches the fold in the circle. Okay, so it fits in really nicely, and that is the bird's beak. Oh, that looks nice. Good. So that's that bit. These are dead quick to make, and you'll have something really lovely in a short time. Yes. So you're showing them your beak, are you? Okay, that's lovely. So the next thing is the tail, the bird's tail. Now, would you like a green or a orange? You want an orange tail, okay. So the tail is that shape. So the way I made my tail was I made a very long triangle, and then I just cut a V shape out of it. So that's the tail feathers. So that's the sort of shape you want for your tail. You can experiment. You don't have to have it exactly the same as we've done it. And again, you fold the tail like you've done with the beak. You fold it in half. So you've got a nice crease. And just like you did with the beak, you glue the tail. I'm just going to put a bit of glue on there. And you make the fold sit in the fold on your circle. That's it. So that's how they fit in. That's very nice. Quite good at this craft, Lark, aren't you? Mm-hmm. So that is the basic bird. Very lovely, isn't it? I'm just going to show you again how it, now the tail's in, it still rocks. If you have the tail too long,
like on mine,
yours is a little bit bottom heavy, but it doesn't matter if it's going to hang, does it? If you're going to hang it up.
No.
But if you wanted it on a shelf and you want it to rock, you don't want the tail too long. So let's put that there. So you need eyes on it. So all I did on my one that I made earlier today was I just drew the eyes on. But what this one has on, I think Freddie made this one last year, it's got some it's just like little round white stickers, and he's drawn the eyes on that. So we're just going to draw the eyes with a felt tip pen. So there's your eyes. Just do 2 little dots where the bird's eyes would be. So that's like that. You can do bigger dots if you want. That's it. So your bird's got eyes. And then you can decide whether you want to be a hanging bird, or a bird on a stick, or a rocking bird on the shelf, whichever you want. Now, in order for it to be a hanging bird, you need to make a hole in it. And the best thing for that is a hole punch, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So Mike's going to try and get a hole punch in the middle, probably in the middle of the small circle. That's it. And so we haven't got any string here because I think it's all been used up.
The budget didn't stretch for string.
I just think it's really hard to find any craft material in our house sometimes because it's all been used up by our crafty children. But for those of you going to the polytunnel tomorrow at Pulp Friction, I'm sure that there'll be some string available. And that is how you hang the bird up, and it'd just be lovely. Now this actually, the hole on this one's not quite in the right place. It should be more in the centre. They just hang beautifully. I'd like to see a whole row of hanging birds.
We just hope that you've got crop bars in your polytunnel from which to suspend your birds.
Yes. Thank you, Michael.
I know all about polytunnels now.
Yes, he's just built one on his own allotment.
I'm in the process of building one.
Right, so enjoy making a bird, and I look forward to seeing your finished birds when you've made them. That's really lovely. Very proud of you. Thank you for helping.
My pleasure.
I'll switch the computer off now.